friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amelia and today we're going to be trying something that I've never done before. So naturally, the first time I'm going to try it is live on camera with all of you guys. So the plan for today is I'm going to try and rebind Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn, which is a 3-book series by Tad Williams. It is like the first series in his realm of Austen art. There's another current ongoing series. The final book should be coming out, I think it's supposed to come out in November, but like it's still not available for pre-order, so we shall see if it actually comes out. So the plan is to rebind these into a set of hardbacks, and yeah, I've never done this before, so we're gonna find out together how difficult it is to do, especially like this book is so huge. I don't know if that's like makes it more difficult to hardback fight or not, but we're gonna find out. And yeah, the first step is going to be taking off the existing soft covers. And in the video that I watched of somebody rewriting their paperbacks into hardbacks, they used an iron to melt the glue on the spine that's holding like the covers on. However, I don't buy clothes if ironing them is a step of their care, so naturally I also don't have an iron. So I'm going to try and use a hair dryer, and hopefully that will be warm enough to melt the glue and allow me to easily remove the covers without damaging the text blocks. But there is only one circuit in this office, so I'm going to have to turn off this light in order to run this without tripping the breaker. I think probably I'm going to do it anyway just to be safe. So I'm going to turn on the overhead light, and you're going to have to deal with bad lighting for a little bit while I try to take these off, so please bear with me. Okay, I've kind of lost a page here, that's my fault, but it's not really an important page. It's literally just like the praise. I don't really care about that. I don't need that page. Okay, it's coming away better from this side, but the pages are not super well secured in the text block. Like, I'm losing some of the outer signature. Alright, that is one cover removed. So I did lose this page from the front, so that's not super ideal, and also I've lost several pages from the back, which are now stuck to my desk. Oops, I didn't think about that. Okay, they've glued themselves to my desk. Okay, there's a bunch of glue on my desk. That's awkward. Yeah, so I guess I'll just keep doing the rest of them. Alright, so all 3 of our text blocks have been separated from their hardbacks, each with varying levels of success and a number of pages lost. To Green Angel Tower has totally lost this, like, the page that has like reviews and like the other books he's written. It's totally lost because it's stuck to itself and ripped. So that's not super ideal. The other ones, those pages have survived. They are simply no longer intact, and the final page is lost in both of them. All right, so I think the next thing I need to do is fix the spine on Green Angel Tower because it's quite curved, and I believe that could cause some problems with my hardback. So I'm actually gonna pause and look up how to fix that, and then I will be right back. welcome back. So, as you have seen, I cut out the cardstock, whatever you want to call this, chipboard, for the covers, and it went pretty well. The only one that's like a little bit funky is Green Angel Tower. It doesn't have the overhang that it should, but I think if I do a little bit more work on the spine to flatten it out a bit more, it should be perfect. But for that, I need our heat gun, and I don't know where it is. It got put somewhere. I think it's in a box that probably hasn't been unpacked since we moved here over a year ago. So, you know, that's a later problem to work on. But for now, we're going to be covering them with our paper. So, yeah, that is the goal for today. So I'm just gonna take one of them. This is Dragon Bone Chair. We're gonna remove our text block. And then for these, the problem is the paper isn't quite big enough, so we're gonna have to somehow hodgepodge two of them together and make it so they overlap in like a good spot. So that's gonna be a little bit of a challenge. I guess I'll begin by gluing these two pieces of paper together, if that makes no sense. And I'm gonna have to try to be quite sparing with the glue so that the paper doesn't warp and stuff. So we got a lot of learning curves and stuff here probably. I'm just gonna do like a little bit, I guess. And this is pretty thick paper, so it shouldn't like immediately bubble and stuff with the application of a little bit of moisture, but better safe than sorry. We will go with a thin layer of glue. All right, and then to try to layer this one as evenly as possible, like levelly. So let's try to do that as well as I can. Now my paintbrush. I think I'm gonna have to put this somewhere for a second and put like a weight on top. All right, annoying as it is to wait when I've just started, I'm gonna give those like 10-15 minutes to dry a little bit so that they're not making a mess everywhere and that they're secure. So I will return to you when they are dry. All right, so it's been 10 minutes, so I think we're good to continue. One of them I had to add more glue to, so that's back under the weights, but we can get started with the other ones. So what we need to do is measure about 3 centimeters out from every edge. All right, ideally I would use just like my X-Acto knife to cut this, but I don't have like a desk mat. So I'm just gonna use scissors because otherwise I will be scoring lines on my desk and I do not want to do that. All right, and then what it wants us to do is cut off the corners about 3 millimeters from the edge. So I'm just approximately marking that. All right, so the next step is to cover the back of this in glue and then glue it down. I think it needs to be pretty even and relatively thin again so that I don't bleed through my paper, but I also want it to be well attached, you know, like I don't want it to be coming off. All right, so let's line this bad boy up. All right, let's press it down. Okay, it doesn't say anything about waiting for it to dry at this point, so I'm just gonna go ahead and attach all of the paper now. Oof, hopefully it works. So far, so good. I just gotta make sure that everything is lined up in the way I want it to be. And that the spine is like straight. Now we're going to glue this to the cover. This is a very experimental kind of thing. I wouldn't say that this is the video for you if you're wanting to learn how to do it. I will try to link the video that I watched as a tutorial in the description, just so that you have a better tutorial than this, because this is definitely more like I try to figure it out, but on camera. So, okay, I think that is as even as I am going to achieve. So let us press this down on top. This is getting a little bit nerve-wracking. I don't want to mess it up now. Oh, I don't want to touch this with glue on my fingers either. Alright, so now I need to fold these edges around, and she said to just kind of use the actual covers to bend the paper. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna glue these down. Okay, it is all four sides. So let's take 2 pieces of spare paper to protect our text block. All right, let's put this bad boy in and close this. Oh, that's tight. I did this okay. So it may not look perfect, but it does look like a book, and that is what we're going for here. So, you know, I'm not gonna complain too much, but yeah, I'm gonna put a whole bunch of weight on this and leave it. All right, our first book is set aside with the weight of 6 other hardbacks to press it flat. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the second 2, and then we will do the decorating. Alright friends, welcome back. It has been over an hour. These have been under the weight of a bunch of books, as I said, and yeah, this is the state of them so far. We definitely have some flaws and stuff. Like this one, I put the seam on like right on the edge, and that has not worked out. It's not perfectly stuck down, so it's like lifting and stuff a bit. I might see if there's anything I can do about that, maybe with some like tiny bit of super glue. And then this one also has glue on the back here, which is not ideal. But you know, for my first sort of attempt, you know, they do resemble books, but as you can see at the moment, they are blank. And so for that, I have designed some covers to put on these bad boys, as well as somewhere in here we have spines and then the backs of the books. So the plan is to use this graphite transfer paper and trace over the designs so that I can see them on here, and then I have a silver pen that I'm going to go over that with, and I'm hoping that it will turn out well and look nice. We shall see. But yeah, these are actually, this one is on one of the like inside title pages of Dragon Bone Chair, and then the other 2 didn't have that exact same style, but I just kind of copied it from Dragon Bone Chair, creating new letters where I had to, and then trying to use the ones that were already available. So I think it worked out pretty well, and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and try to trace some of them. Let's go ahead and start with Dragon Bone Chair. I feel like that makes sense. Welcome back. So it is a new day. As you can see, I have changed. And so far, we have done about 2/3 of the Dragonbone chair cover, and we've also done the front cover of Stone of Farewell. I did accidentally smudge the, which is unfortunate, but I can't really think of a good way to fix that. So unfortunately, I think it might just be that way. If I can come up with a way to like easily fix that, I will. So I have actually had to go and buy another silver pen, not because this one ran out or anything, but just because it's not fine enough for a lot of the details, and I have to now do all of these like blurbs on the back, and I thought if I used this pen it would be too thick. So you can kind of see on the side title here the restrictions of the pen. That's kind of like as small as I can make it, and I do want these words to, I think, be smaller. So this one, apparently finding a very thin silver metallic pen is difficult, but this one has like a brush tip, so I'm hoping I can use the fine end to do some small lettering, because otherwise I don't know what I'm gonna do. I think in retrospect I should have skipped the blurbs on the back and just done like an icon or some sort of graphic, because like I already know what these books are about and this is the only place they're going to be. But alas, here we are doing the blurbs. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing the transfer paper for Green Angel Tower. the final and most exciting part. We are ready to attach our covers to our text blocks. So let's just go in chronological order. Why not? So we will be starting with Dragonbone Chair. This is probably one of the covers that actually went the best because I smeared a word on Stone of Farewell, and also the blurb on this one was shorter, so I was able to make the letters look more like they were supposed to. On these ones, it just got very tight and kind of messy. But at the moment, we are gonna attach Dragonbone Chair. So we have some glue, we have some paper to sort of separate. So let's line it up first of all. Good. It is exciting when they're actually like together as one thing. Okay, so what we need to do is put a sheet of paper in between these as a protective barrier. So now we need to put glue all over this except for in this 1 centimeter section between the spine and the rest of the book. So I'm gonna do that. Trying to do not too thick of a layer and also work quickly because this gets very tacky very quickly, and I don't want to have to apply more glue and warp the paper even more. I can already feel it kind of warping because it's not happy with the moisture. So we're gonna work as quickly as possible, and then without touching any of the nice parts with our glue hands, we need to close this up. Eek. We'll just press on that a little bit, and then we need to do the other side and the other two books. So let's do that. Alright, we have finally completed our 3 books with varying degrees of success. Somehow, I think that Dragonbone Chair turned out the best, even though it was like the one I did everything first on. So I think this one ended up with the least like mess ups in the cover, and then also, this is so stupid, but when I was putting the text blocks into the books, this one I did not check to see which direction it was in, but I did manage to put it in the right direction, and also it opens the best, like you get the most range of motion. Stone of Farewell, I was like, oh, I didn't check Dragonbone Chair, the text block, so I should check Stone of Farewell. So I checked it, and I still put it in backwards and upside down. This is the front. I don't know how well you can see, but the text is not the way it's meant to be. And also it does not open very well, even though like I left space for it to open. I guess I just didn't leave enough. So there's that. And also this back cover doesn't quite, I would want it to be past the text block like it is in Dragonbone Chair. We have like a couple millimeters of a lip, and I measured it, so I don't know how that happened, but alas, here we are. And then I did not check for Green Angel Tower, and it is also upside down and backwards, which is embarrassing. But here we are. This one opens sort of, not very well. So, you know, some mixed results with my first attempt at bookbinding, but I would say that, well, as long as they're just sitting on the shelf, they look nice. I'm not sure that they'll be the most durable. I already had some problems with Stone of Farewell because I ended up with the overlap of the paper in like the worst possible place. Like it's right on the bending spot of the spine, which is not good. So there's that. But overall, I really enjoyed the process of making them, and I think that, like I said, when they're sitting on the shelf, they will look nice. They just might not be the easiest to read. But that's okay. I read them last year. It's probably going to be a while until I read them again, and I will cross that bridge when I get to it. So we're going to go ahead in just a second, take a closer look at what I've created. But before we go, I just want to thank you all for watching. Let me know in the comments if you'd want to see more book rebinding videos. I really enjoyed it, so I would be happy to do it again if anybody is interested. But that is all that I have time for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.